No.
Tigers. Fight, Tigers, fight, Tigers, fight. Mike, it's not even a top 1,000 moment all time.
Okay, Tommy, shut the hell up, man.
Mike! Of course, I'm gonna go with the right answer. It's Ryan Eads of the Baltimore Orioles. He's only wore the number 80 for 8 games. He's only one of 2 players.
You know what? No, I'm not going to take this.
Welcome back to Go Chat. We are back. We have a brand new episode planned today. We are excited to get going. And of course, we have GOAT of the state. And today it is Florida. We are picking between the Miami Heat, the Miami Marlins, the Florida Panthers, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Who else am I missing?
Tampa
The
Bay.
Miami Dolphins.
Ducks, the Jacksonville Jaguars,
Yeah, the Magic.
the Orlando Magic.
A lot of different teams in Florida, a lot of options. So, Matt, I'll toss it to you first. Who is your GOAT of Florida?
This is no question to me. I really, he's been there for 2 years and already has solidified being the greatest athlete in Florida right now. He goes out and wins the Super Bowl his first year, Michael, and that is Tom Brady. Literally, we have 1 year of him. He's already brought back a Super Bowl as a 5 seed. I would just like to point out they won like 10 straight at the end of the year, 8 straight. I got to give him credit where it's due. I didn't pick him for going to the 12th. I got to give him credit here. There are some like good people you can mention, but I just think what Tom Brady's been able to do in one single season, count it as 1 in 8 weeks. Even these 8 weeks, he's MVP caliber season. So he's just been tearing it up. And I think what he brought to the table in that amount of time is still great enough to beat out whoever you said.
Sure, that's a phenomenal pick. Obviously, his impact in such a short period of time is unprofound. So, Connor, you rolling with the GOAT, or are you taking someone else?
Yeah, it's Tom Brady, no questions asked. I don't have to add anything else. Matt included everything. It's Tom Brady. He went there and he won a Super Bowl his first year there. He's thrown his 600th career touchdown pass there. He broke the all-time passing yards record there. I mean, he has done so much in his time in Tampa Bay already that he solidified himself as the best player in Florida. He was the best player in Florida the second he signed with Tampa Bay in March of when he signed. No questions.
Okay. Tommy, you're up next.
Well, Tom Brady's good, but how are we forgetting about G-Man Choi? No, Connor's not even amused. No, of course it's Tom Brady today. I mean, can't go any other way. One of the best of all time, obviously. You guys covered it. There's nothing more for me to say. It's clearly Tom Brady.
Yeah, I'm actually going to veer away here. I'm going to go with Steven Stamkos of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tom Brady hasn't even been in Florida for 2 years. Steven Stamkos, 2-time Cup winner, multiple-time Rocket Richard winner. I mean, he's one of the best players in Tampa Bay Lightning history, if not the best. So I got to go with Steven Stamkos. Obviously, if you're looking at their overall resume, Tom Brady's no doubt the better player. But I'm taking more into account what they've actually done in Florida. And Tom Brady has already done so much for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I just think that Steven Stamkos has done that and more over a longer period of time.
It's the thing about this is Steven Stamkos is a tremendous player, and I'm not going to argue with him. But you brought up that he's won 2 Stanley Cups. Well, keep in mind he was injured for a lot of the majority, and a majority of that team was an incredible team. And I'm not even going to lie that the Bucs, team, I told you the defense was tremendous in the Super Bowl. But still, what Tom Brady's been able to do in 1 year and 8 weeks, I think if you take that in perspective, I just think that's better than Steven Stamkos. And obviously Stamkos has played there for 12 years, 13 years. But I just think Tom Brady, where he's going at now, he's honestly progressing to an MVP season, throwing 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, so on and so forth. It's a no-brainer here. Steven Stamkos, I love the guy. He's a good player. I just think it's got to be Tom Brady. I don't know.
Mike, you think back to our first go to the state in Arizona. You picked Chris Paul. This is his second year with the Phoenix Suns. And he made it to the finals last year with Phoenix, but that's it. Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay and won a Super Bowl his first year there. So we're going to pick Chris Paul for Arizona because of his resume. But when Tom Brady is in question for Florida, we have to steer clear because he hasn't done enough for you. Like,
no, that's not the case at all. Who else in Arizona has the same type of resume that Steven Stamkos does? There's no other player in Arizona that has built up the resume over a 13-year period of time where Steven Stamkos was one of the best players in all of the NHL, and one of the best goal scorers in all of the NHL.
I'm not arguing Steven Stamkos for anyone in Arizona, but I'm saying that you picked Chris Paul, who's only been in Arizona for.
There were no better options. I'm not.
There's no better options. DeAndre Hopkins, JJ Watt.
Okay, they've been in Arizona for like a year or two as well.
There's no better options.
Devin Booker, pretty good.
Devin Booker, yeah, sure.
If we're basing this off of their tenure in the state,
it's not only off their tenure, but the tenure plays the most into account, in my opinion. And before Chris Paul got there, Devin Booker didn't do much. He was a fringe all-star before Chris Paul got there. And you look at Steven Stamkos, he led the Tampa Bay Lightning to the playoffs year after year after year, being the best player on that team. And obviously when they finally broke through and won the Stanley Cup, yeah, he was a little banged up, but he scored a very important goal in the Stanley Cup, not last year, but the year before that, right? And then this year, he was an integral piece of that Stanley Cup championship team, right? So I just think just the fact that his whole career was in Florida, obviously Tom Brady is number 2. He's right there. He's number 2. But when you take into account that he hasn't even been there for 2 years, obviously he's done so much already.
Who gives a crap, Mike?
I give a crap, Connor. I give a crap.
He won a Super Bowl his first year.
Okay, I know. That's awesome. That's awesome. But Steven Stamkos has done so much more in that state.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let's put this in perspective. You're looking at Steven Stamkos' resume, 2 cup winner. Okay, you give him that. Brady's got 1. He's got 2 All-Stars. Brady's about to have 2 Pro Bowls by the end of this year.
Hockey reference is really weird with the All-Star appearances. You have to be like on the top line to like get that All-Star check next to your name. He's been on plenty more All-Star teams. Plenty more.
I still really think that what Tom Brady's been able to do in
that's fine.
This guy is 40. He's 44 years old, almost 45 years old, and he's playing at an MVP level in a child's game. Run by 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds and up-and-coming superstars. And he is 44, playing at the peak of his career, ready to bring another Super Bowl back to Tampa Bay, playing like the top team, arguably in the NFC after Thursday night, Arizona lost. But I mean, he is playing just out of his mind at such a ridiculous age. He's done so much. He's broken NFL records in Florida. He won a Super Bowl in Florida. He's playing at an MVP level in Florida. I don't know how you can say that he hasn't done enough for you in his short tenure there to be considered the best player in Florida when we're taking Chris Paul in Arizona and he led the Suns to a finals appearance.
Just the other contenders in Arizona does not compare it to Steven Stamkos.
What
do you mean how? What do you mean how? Your lack of knowledge of hockey right now is glistening through the screen. Okay, because Steven Stamkos has been one of the best players in the NHL for years.
Not lately.
I just don't understand why you're totally berating me for this take.
Because it's stupid. It's stupid. Your take is stupid, and you're acting completely hypocritical when you're saying that the tenure doesn't matter for.
Dude, I'm just not.
And the tenure doesn't matter for Chris Paul, but it matters for Tom Brady. It's a hypocritical.
I never said it didn't matter for Chris Paul, but there's no one else in Arizona that lives up to what Chris Paul has done in Arizona and outside of Arizona.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to butt in here. Tommy, do you have anything to say?
Thank goodness that's over. I mean, holy crap. What was that?
I know. I feel like no more comments really need to be said. I got some more to say, but I'm just gonna leave it on the table so we could get through some baseball, right, Tommy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why nobody's talking about G-Man Choi in this argument, but we can just talk about the World Series if you want.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna head into our first break, and then when we come back, we're gonna go through the World Series. Tommy's excited about the World Series. They're 2 games in. Third game is tonight on Friday, and then we got some more baseball this weekend and through the next week here on Go Chat. We will be right back with some baseball. Welcome back to Go Chat. We are back with some baseball. We finally hit the World Series. It's between the Houston Astros versus the Atlanta Braves. I feel like we know who Tommy and everyone pretty much in the world is cheering for, other than Houston. Outside of Houston, everyone is probably cheering for the Braves at this point after their cheating scandal. But it's been such a good World Series. We have 2 games so far. It's tied 1-1. So we got a lot to talk about, a lot. It's still open, so we can give our big predictions. Obviously, there is a game tonight on Friday. We don't know that score, so we'll be going as we go. It's a 1-1 series. Tommy, I'm going to swing it to you first. You're the baseball guy. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's been a great World Series. I mean, it's definitely a surprise from where I thought we would be at the beginning of the postseason. No way did I see Atlanta even getting past the NLDS, and to be here, I think is, just great for them, great for that organization. And, like you said, it's been a good series. Atlanta took game 1, 6-2. And they had that tough blow, of course. Charlie Morton broke his leg, and he's out for the remainder of the World Series, which certainly tough to see. But, they still got a big game 1 win. And then the Houston Astros came back the following night. They picked up a win. And, personally, I do think that they're the better team. And I would love to see Atlanta do it. I think ultimately we're going to have another world championship back there in Houston. But no, I mean, like you said, it's been a great series, and yeah, game 3 tonight, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, I have to agree with you. It's been a tremendous World Series so far. Mike, do you have any thoughts?
Sure. I mean, I feel like at the beginning of the season, if you if you said that, especially after the Acuna injury, you said that the Braves and Astros are going to be in the World Series, people would call you crazy. But you never know with baseball sometimes, because really games are just decided on a few plays, and those plays can flip one way or the other. So it's definitely an interesting matchup to see both these teams in the World Series. They both had very different paths of getting there, but very intriguing matchup. I think they both match up well against each other. I don't know, like, because Houston has a lot of right-handed pitching, and obviously Atlanta has like Eddie Rosario, Freddie Freeman, Jock Tober, all of those guys. And then you look at Atlanta, they've been adding more and more left-handers to their bullpen. Obviously, with Morton out, they lose another right-hander, and Houston just absolutely mashes lefties with Correa, Altuve, and Yordan Alvarez is phenomenal against lefties. So I think this is gonna be a great matchup. I think Morton is a huge loss, but I do got to give some props to him for him finishing off that inning on a broken leg with 2 strikeouts. But it's going to be a very, very interesting series. If I had to pick a team, I'd go Houston, but by no means at this point would I be surprised if Atlanta won.
Yeah, I mean, you got the Atlanta Red on right now.
Yeah, I don't want either team to win, obviously, as a Mets fan. I'm not, happy with the Braves being in the World Series at all.
Yeah. Connor.
No, I mean, it's been really interesting. It's been a very interesting World Series to tune into. As we mentioned, Atlanta won game 1 pretty convincingly, and then game 2, Houston just got their bats going early in that game and led to them winning that game. What was the score to game 2? 6-2, Tommy?
In what, game 2?
2?
Yeah, 7-2.
7-2. So I mean, yeah, it's been good to watch. You guys all kind of alluded to it, but they really match up well on paper. Both the teams are solid. Going back to Mike's point, when Acuna went down, really the beginning of the year, I was like, oh, Braves aren't going to win this division. Braves are probably going to finish right back there by Miami. This is the Mets division to win. We all had really high hopes for the Mets coming into the year, and then I don't know, they just caught fire. Obviously only winning 88 games, but it was enough to get them into that postseason and then to get them to the World Series, and they've played really hot. But I think at some point it has to end. right? They beat the Dodgers convincingly in 6 games. I just think Houston is a better team overall than Atlanta. And them losing Charlie Morton, that's a big deal. Who knows if he was going to get another appearance in this series anyway, but just to have, he's a leader on that team. He is a veteran in the MLB, someone that these younger guys, because Atlanta overall is a pretty young team. So, I mean, to get these younger guys to really look up to and talk to and get some advice to about the big moments in the game. So, if I had to pick a team right now, it would probably be Houston.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Morton probably would have saw another appearance late.
For
you know,
sure.
Game 6,
Yeah.
Game 7.
Oh, even earlier than that, I think
5?
probably game 5. Yeah, he would have pitched again, but
Yeah, and especially and those late games are especially key ones too. I mean, it's been interesting to see. I mean, we got the Braves won game 1, 6-2. Astros win games 2, 7-2. So really, we see 2 different, sides of the story here. I think it's going to come down to home field advantage. And I think, it's going to come down to Houston's home field advantage. Obviously, being home game 6, game 7, those are going to be really key games. So I'm going to have to roll with Houston to win the World Series. You don't want to see it, but it definitely does say something about them. I think a lot of people put them down as being cheaters. They were nothing without cheating. But I do think, obviously, cheating is going to get you to win. But if you come out and you make it to the World Series and you make it to the ALCS last year, it's more than there's talent on that team, and you really see it whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tommy.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. I mean, I think I've talked about it on this show. I think that's the most disappointing thing about their cheating scandal was that I think even in 2017 they could have won without the cheating. I think they, were that good, but and a thing you have to remember too is, they're viewed as the cheaters, right? Because obviously, it's that organization. Some of the key players are still there: Correa, Bregman, Altuve, obviously. But there's only 5 players from that 2017 team on this roster. So it's an entirely new team for the most part, other than that, that core obviously in the lineup. But, they've gotten better year after year, and they're just an incredibly good team. And, I think what Dusty Baker has done with this team has been tremendous for him to come in and, get the team, like you said, to the ALCS last year. And, in the World Series this year, he's been outstanding. So, they've done a great job there in Houston, whether you like it or not.
So, Tommy, with the turnaround of the team, they've become a new team over. Obviously, they still have, Altuve, Correa, all those guys there. But, that championship ring, if they do get it, what is your feeling on Houston after this year?
I mean, it doesn't change from that 2017 team, but I think more about the fan base, and I think it would be nice for them to have another World Series to say we can do this without cheating. And because they, like I said, they are a really good organization, top to bottom. I mean, the analytics they use, they're way ahead of the curve on a lot of different things. And yes, they cheated, but I think sometimes people lose sight of the fact how good they are in every, facet of the game, both on the field and in the front office. So, I think that this would be good for them to show that they truly are a championship team. And we all know how I feel about 2017. I think it's terrible. I think the Yankees were cheated out of a chance at World Series, but at the same time, you got to respect what they've done.
Tommy, you said that only 5 players were on that team from 2017.
I believe that's what I heard. I could be wrong.
I was gonna say, I mean, obviously they have Correa, Altuve, Alvarez. I thought Yuri
Wait, Alvarez wasn't
on the team.
Oh, really? He wasn't?
He was a rookie in 2019.
I think just Gurriel and
Maldonado
Colors maybe.
Was Maldonado on that team?
I don't know. I'd have to check that. I thought I heard 5, but I could be wrong.
Rob Bregman.
Yeah.
You said Bregman, right? I don't know. I'd have to check it, but
Yeah, I was just curious because that was a interesting stat. Well, obviously there was a lot of turnover on that roster with Garrett Cole leaving, Verlander out for the year. Obviously they still have Greinke, but Lance McCullers is hurt, so they've had to figure it out. And you got to give credit to that front office and Dusty Baker for putting all the pieces together and leading this team to a World Series appearance. Because a lot of people thought that the cheating was the main reason for them making the World Series. And obviously that helped them out, no doubt, knowing what pitch is coming, especially at the MLB level, is absolutely huge, right? But they obviously still have talent, and they've shown that they can win games no matter what.
I had no clue it was Dusty Baker. I remember him.
Yeah, Nationals manager.
I remember. Yeah, I remember his name. I think that this World Series, Tommy, you kind of alluded to it. I think it means a lot to the city of Houston, though. They're in a really tough sports spot. They're golden child, I guess you could call it. Deshaun Watson is under, everything he's got with all those cases and stuff. Could be traded. The Rockets just got Jalen Green in the draft. They've been pretty rough. So they really want this, and I think that it would mean so much if they won this World Series, even though they just got one like 3 years ago. But this time without the cheating, it definitely is something that means a lot to the city. A lot of people. It's like the third most populated city, if you guys didn't know that, in the United States. Quick geography on sports on Go Chat, but yeah, it would mean a ton to the city. I have to agree with you there, Tommy.
Yeah, I checked it out, Mike. It's 6 players.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Have any final thoughts about this year's World Series? Anything else we want to dive into?
Just buckle your seatbelts and watch some baseball. It's going to be a interesting ride, to say the least.
So if I am correct, we're not going to be doing Go Picks on the episode. We're going to do those offline.
Now we can do them on the episode.
Okay. Well, then I was mistaken. We will have you with our Goat Picks next.
Welcome back to Go Chat. We are back with some Go Picks. You check the leaderboard out. Tommy is just taking over. Tommy, I mean, what are you eating in the morning? Are you taking some sports? I don't know where I'm going with this, but are you with some Wheaties in the morning?
Hey, I don't know. I've been surprised, to be honest with you. I don't know how I'm doing this well, but don't want to choke like Mike, that's for sure. But we'll see what happens.
Tommy has 20 wins right now. Mike has 14. I'm tied with Mike with 14, and then Connor has 13. He's climbing back up after a nice 3-1 round and Go Picks this past week. We got another round. We got baseball. Of course, we're going to go with Game 4 Saturday night, the Atlanta Braves versus Houston Astros. We talked about it already, obviously. Tommy, you're going to start with who you got?
Well, this is tough because at the time we're recording, there's no pitching matchups out. I got to go with Houston just because I think they have the better lineup. And, even though they're not the home team, I'm still going with Houston.
Mike?
I'm going to go with Houston as well. I think Atlanta is going to win tonight with Ian Anderson on the bump. But I think Houston's going to bounce back in Game 4 and make it a tied series.
This is so difficult because, it's difficult for Tommy, meaning it's 20 times more difficult for me. I'm going to go with Atlanta here. I don't know why. I'm just feeling it. Let's go Braves. Connor?
I'm also going to go Atlanta here. I just think that home field advantage there. After Game 4, they're going to have to go back to Houston. I think they're going to want to win that game at home. So I think that's what they're going to want to do. And they're going to get it done. Next
game we got. Great football game tomorrow on Saturday, of course. Number 6, Michigan at number 8, Michigan State. The Battle of Michigan. Tommy, this is a huge game. I'm really curious who you're going to go with here. I don't think there's no wrong answer at all. Both 7-0 teams.
Yeah. Oh, for Michigan State. This is a tough one. I am going to go. This is really tough. I'm going to go Michigan, I think. I think they're playing really well. But it is tough, though. Like you said, it's going to be an awesome game.
Mike?
This is very difficult because I think Michigan is a slightly better team, but Michigan State is at home. I'm going to go with Michigan State here. I'm going to go with the home team. I'm hoping Harbaugh chokes another big game. I think that these teams are pretty evenly matched, but Harbaugh choking big games and the home field advantage for MSU is gonna be what does it for me.
I'm gonna go with Michigan here. I love both teams. I think they're both insanely talented this year. But I mean, Cade McNamara he's been throwing. He's tremendous this year. And I think that's gonna be a key to this game, in my opinion. Connor.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the team up north. That's obviously Michigan. I'm an Ohio State fan, so that's what they refer to Michigan as. Yeah, I just think Harbaugh is a little iffy in big games. On our radio show, I actually did originally pick Michigan State, and Mike actually originally picked Michigan. So this is interesting. But I'm now going to go with Michigan. We're going to flip-flop.
All right. Go heading into the NFL Sunday matches. We got Tennessee versus Indianapolis. Really good game. Tough to pick. AFC South division rivals. Tommy.
I gotta go with Tennessee here. I mean, I don't have too much analysis on this, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the Titans.
Mike.
I want to go with Tennessee. I mean, I want to go with Indianapolis, but I just think that Tennessee is the better team overall, and I just haven't seen Indianapolis beat any sort of team of significance. While the Titans have went out and beat multiple of those, so I got to go with Tennessee.
I'm gonna go with Indianapolis. You could call me whatever. I pick Indianapolis like every week. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the water I drink. I mean, Carson Wentz has been balling out. Hasn't had an interception for a while now. Did have a fumble last game, but I put that against it. And Colts, I think their season's really turning around. After that Ravens game, even though they lost, they did look pretty good. And I think Jonathan Taylor is just going to run the ball down Tennessee's throats. So it's going to be a really good game, but I'm going to go with Colts. Connor, finish this off.
We're going Titans. Derrick Henry's going to have an immaculate game.
It's every week he has an immaculate game.
I mean,
Final game.
Even last week, his rushing yards were down, and he threw a passing touchdown.
Yeah.
And his rushing yards down were still like 85.
Yeah, no, it's like a normal day for anyone else. Last game, we got Carolina versus Atlanta, NFC South division rivals. Big game, Tommy.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I've been going back and forth. I'm going to go with the Panthers, I think. I was going to pick the Falcons. I got to go with the Panthers.
Mike?
I'm going with the Panthers as well. I think this is a get-right game for them. I'm not sure which team is home, but I don't think that's going to matter much. Panthers, they start off great, 3-0. They've lost 4 in a row right now. The Falcons' defense is very weak, and I think Chuba / Sam Darnold are both going to have nice games. They're going to do enough to win this game.
The Falcons are home, just for clarification there. I'm going to go with Carolina too. I think that this game is going to be really good, and I don't blame us for all picking right because all picking Carolina so far because we really didn't know what we were going to go with. But Falcons are on a winning streak of 2, but I don't really think highly of the Jets or the Dolphins. So Carolina is going to have to be my pick. Close game, Connor.
I am going to once again reiterate that Joe Douglas is the man for getting a second-round pick for Sam Darnold, because we've seen that without Christian McCaffrey, he is incapable of doing anything productive for a Carolina Panthers team. He has not been able to get the ball to Robbie Anderson. DJ Moore's numbers have been down since Christian McCaffrey has not been on the field. It's just not a good offense right now with Sam Darnold at the helm. He got benched last week against the New York Giants, right? And the Atlanta Falcons are going to win this game because Sam Darnold is returning to his old habits and not playing good football. And that comes down to it. And that's what it comes down to. Sam Darnold is going to struggle because that's just how he's been the last couple of weeks without Christian McCaffrey. And that's just what it's going to be.
Listen, Sammy, I'm rooting for you, Sam Darnold. If you're listening, I'm still by your side. I've always been by your side since you've been departed from the Jets. So I'm rooting for you. Guys, got a great episode so far. We're going to finish it off with a goat of the week, which is going to be definitely interesting because we're definitely going to see a fan perspective this time around in Go of the Week. Welcome back to Go Chat. We are back to finish off episode number 107 with a great Go of the Week. last week you checked the leaderboard out. Connor did gain another win, 18th win of the season. 8 more wins. You tie me up, Connor. With Dearness Johnson last week. He's got a great one this week. It's definitely going to be interesting to see his. It's not a player. So, Connor, I'll let you have the floor.
Yeah, I am going to go with the person who Mike Evans gave the 600th touchdown pass of Tom Brady's career to. That is Byron Kennedy, Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. He was given the ball by Mike Evans. Mike Evans was unwillingly, not knowing that was the 600th touchdown pass. Had a little bit of delegation with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers athletic or training staff there, trying to get that ball back for Tom, and wound up getting quite a hefty return. Obviously, that ball would have been worth quite a bit of money. But he already went on the record and said that he was never going to sell it. It was going to sit in his office. And I think instead the Tampa Bay Buccaneers gave him plenty of stuff to sit in his office. 2 Tom Brady jerseys, a Tom Brady helmet, a Mike Evans jersey, game-worn jersey, Mike Evans game-worn cleats, 1,000 store credit to the team store, season tickets for the rest of this year's season and next season. Was there anything else?
He got Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Tom gave him Bitcoin.
Shush. I was going to say, I don't know if there was anything else from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, well, we didn't understand that. Maybe you told us that you're going to do it that way.
He was then given a Bitcoin by Tom Brady, which was announced on Monday Night Football in the Peyton and Eli telecast. And it also was reported that Rob Gronkowski is also sending him a Bitcoin upworth of $30,000. So he made out pretty well for getting handed a ball.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he had once in a lifetime seats at that game, obviously first row behind an end zone. That's what you look for, is trying to get some of those souvenirs. But for him to walk away with this amount of stuff after he was already not going to sell the ball, he made away pretty well. Obviously, his one last wish was to at some point play a round of golf with Tom Brady. I think Tom's a good man. I think he'll get that done for him maybe in the offseason. So, hey, Byron Kennedy, happy everything worked out for you. Glad you got all your stuff and you're this week's go to the week.
I mean, that round of golf has to be done. I mean, that ball could have been sold for upwards of at least $500,000. And even though he's gotten so much stuff, it doesn't, nearly accumulate $500,000. But I think a round of golf would definitely make it 100% worth it for him. That's a good go of the week, Connor.
I mean, not to get off task, but I understand none of us are really Tom Brady like fanboys, but would you even sell that ball? I don't know if I would.
That's
$500,000 is so much money, dude. I don't know.
That is true. I don't know, because the sports fan in me really wants to keep that ball, because everyone's gonna want to see it. It's a talking point. You put in some glass, but at the same time, it's a ton of money. So
I don't think I sell it.
I don't know.
Really?
I think that's something that you put in a man cave or in your office or something. I mean, that is a NFL record football that you have in your possession. As a sports fan, I don't think I would be happy with myself. I would regret it the second I handed it over after.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows if it's ever going to be broken? I mean, probably will be broken at some point.
600
obviously
somebody.
Extra game added to each season.
By somebody in the near future. I'm not even saying it's like Patrick Mahomes or anything, but someone probably in our lifetime could pass it.
I don't know, maybe. But what was I gonna say? I think I would keep it until Brady retires, and then the value just goes.
I would try to sell it to Tom Brady.
I don't know how much money he'd pay for it. I feel like I don't know.
No.
He makes a lot of money.
If he got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to give this amount of stuff to this guy, 2 years of season tickets plus all that merchandise. I mean,
$1,000. Sorry,
$1,000 to the team store.
I thought that's what you're talking about.
Tickets.
Yeah.
And everything else.
Yeah.
I think he would pay a hefty price to get that football.
I know I always bring it back to baseball, but I think about when Jeter and A-Rod hit their 3,000th hits for home runs. And Christian Lopez, who caught Jeter's, he got similar stuff. Like he got season tickets for the rest of the year and next year. he got some bats and stuff and signed balls, and he got great stuff. And then you think about Zach Hampel with the A-Rod thing. That was a whole fiasco. But
What happened with that? I'm not familiar with that situation.
he decided like not to give it back to him until like 2 or 3 weeks later. But he did get like a ton in return. Like he got tickets to the All-Star game. He got, he got lots of great stuff. So no, those are always cool.
The one thing with Christian Lopez, I'm sorry, we're on a super tangent right now, but he went after that ball so that Jeter could get it back. That was his story. Was he wanted to get the ball so that he could give it to Jeter. You know, obviously, those other fans sitting up there, those were bleacher seats. They probably paid $50-$60 to get to that baseball game. And then, I mean, you got that baseball. You're making some good profit going to Yankee Stadium on July 9th, 2011. So, I mean, he grabbed that ball to make sure that ball made its way back to Derek Jeter. So, really good point there.
He played football at Rutgers too, I think. He said he like dove on top of it, but we're getting way off task
All right.
now.
All right.
Needless to say, Byron Kennedy is the goat of the week.
Okay, last point. I promise you, last point. It's like, let's say like Dak Prescott or Aaron Rodgers or God forbid Zach Wilson surpass Tom Brady in touchdowns, and you get that ball. What are you gonna do with it? Personally,
I'd keep that ball because like even though I'm a big fan of Tom Brady, I loved like his move to like Florida and all that stuff. But if it's Dak Prescott, like I gotta keep that ball.
Do not start about his move to Florida, Mike.
the only
I
way.
mean, I was the only one that said, you know, it was a good move and that he's not washed up anymore. But
Why wouldn't you want him to have it though?
I mean,
That's
no, wait.
true.
Here's what I would do. I would want to get in contact with Aaron Rodgers and then like negotiate a deal with him. I wouldn't want to be in contact with whatever team he's on.
Yeah.
I would want to be in contact with Aaron Rodgers and negotiate that deal.
If I got Dak Prescott's 601st passing touchdown ball, I am delegating the crap out of Mike until
Yeah, because obviously, you know, I'm gonna be so wealthy and famous by the time Dak gets his 601st passing touchdown.
All right. I think any final thoughts on our new segment about Byron Kennedy?
And he's the man. He made off well. Hopefully he gets that round of golf with Tom Brady in the near future. Once again, go to the week. We had a full tangent about my go to the week. I think it's fair to say that I should just win.
I think there are just so many layers to this situation. There's so many ways he could have gone with it. It's just so intriguing.
Yeah. All right. We're going to get back to go to the week with Tommy's go to the week.
Well, you know, I might vote for Connor's go of the week. I know I'm not allowed to, but I still vote anyway. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Charlie Morton this week. We talked about him a little bit during the World Series segment. You know, he pitched really well in game one, but then he broke his leg and struck out a couple batters afterwards. And you know, I know obviously maybe he didn't have the best performance out of all these people over the week because he was injured, but he still pitched well in a big game, you know, game one of the World Series. And, you know, certainly feel sorry for him to break his leg like that, but he will be back, they say, for the start of next year. But yeah, Charlie Morton's my go of the week.
I'll tell you, breaking a bone in your leg is a very serious pain. And for him to be able to be out there and throw 96 miles an hour and record outs is something of unbelievable achievement.
His adrenaline must have been pumping.
I mean, yeah, for him to be putting the amount of weight that he had to put on it to throw 96, it's incredible.
He struck out Altuve. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's not like Altuve is like no slouch. He had another strikeout in that inning. It was another great pick.
Yeah, great pick, Tommy. Mike.
You know what? I think we just got so many great picks this year. I'm going to Cincinnati, number 5 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Jamar Chase. 8 catches, 200 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, he absolutely torched Marlon Humphrey, one of probably top 10, if not top 5 corners in the NFL, and he made him look silly all game long. Jamar Chase, he's on pace to break every single rookie wide receiver record there is in the book. I mean, like if you really like pace out like his play this season, he's on pace for 1,600 yards and almost 16 touchdowns as well. So it's absolutely insane what's going on this week. And Jamar Chase, he is already. I don't even want to go there, but he's a phenomenal player, and the Bengals made the right pick.
Another small tangent here. At what point do we put him at top of the list of one of the best, not young receivers in the league, but one of the best receivers in the league?
I mean, I was tempted to say he's already top 10, but again,
I was about to say that too.
I'd put him there. I'd put him there with the way he's been playing. Obviously the deep ball has been his friend. A lot of his yards have come from the deep ball. He's not running a lot of those short corners or in routes where he's getting a lot of his yards and stuff like that. But I mean, we did see him take a medium route the distance.
Like that's it was a slant against Marlon Humphrey. He did a great job turning Marlon Humphrey's hips, and he broke like 5 tackles on an en route to the end zone. I mean, Jamar Chase, he's I criticized the Bengals a little bit for not taking Penei Sewell. I know Connor was a big critic of them. I didn't necessarily hate the pick, because obviously Jamar Chase is absolutely transcendent, and he's surpassed everyone's expectations so far in the NFL, and he's got to be the goal of the week.
I think the biggest difference is we're just going off on tangent. Go to the week is now just a talking segment here. He didn't play his senior year of college football. He sat out, and I think that's the biggest difference is no one really remembered the connection that he had and how good he was. So, him coming into the league, even the criticism that he was getting that there were no white lines on the football, it was going to be tough for him to catch it. That was something that he said, but he's having no problem. He is playing out of his mind. I think you can lock him in right now, start of week 8. He's the offensive rookie of the year.
Oh, easily.
Sure.
Go ahead, Matt. We will close this up. Maybe we'll have a tangent for your play too.
Well, I would say Jamar Chase, definitely top 15, I would say.
Yeah.
I would say top 10. You'd have to go through it. I'm not sure exactly.
Just a bigger sample size at this point.
Yeah. I also do want to comment on forgoing a senior season. I think that was the right choice, because LSU is literally bad.
They were really bad.
So bad. And I think that would have probably hurt his draft stock. But we're going to stick with the same city, but we're going to go with a guy named Joey, not Joey Votto, Tommy. We got to go with Joe Burrow here for Goat of the Week. I mean, of course, you got to get out the jerseys. You can't just keep them in the closet forever. But Joe had an amazing game against the Ravens defense. 416 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And ultimately, he's just playing on top of his game. I mean, to take this team to a 5-2 record is actually insane, because you think about that, they were like a 1-15 team like 2 years ago when they got Joe, 2-14. Really bad team. And to come back from an ACL injury too, he's just balling out. And I think that this game was just an overall fantastic way to show his season. So I gotta go with my boy Joe Burrow. I wish I saw some smiling faces on the 3 of you guys, because I know I am smiling.
I'm smiling.
To think about where that team was 2 years ago, even last year, Joe Burrow laid down on the ground, torn ACL, MCL, a lot of damage in that knee. And then you connect him up with Jamar Chase, you get him a bunch of rehab, and he comes out, and now they're the number 1 team in the AFC. Obviously, who knows if that's gonna hold, but I mean, right now they are the best team in the AFC, and he is looking really incredible. And I think he could be a name that sneaks up there for MVP conversation. Obviously, there's a bunch of great names up there. You got Tom Brady, Dak Prescott's playing out of his mind, Aaron Rodgers, after week 1 is playing incredible. But he's in his second year. What was that? I'm sorry.
Post week 1. I just wanted to make sure that
I did say post week 1.
No, I know. I was just emphasizing it,
But he's only in his second year. He's probably played just around a full NFL season now, between the torn ACL and then half the year here. So I mean, he's creeping up, at least on my board, for a potential MVP once we get to the end of the year.
Yeah. It's just the Baltimore defense too. I mean, Baltimore is such a good team, and I will say this, I said I've been mad mixed feelings about Baltimore. We all know that. I've and we're going on tangents at this point, but they are such a good team. And to do that against Baltimore in a key game in Baltimore, AFC North division rivals, is tremendous. And when I saw it, I was like, all right, this guy's got to be my go to the week. Rasul Douglas, I am so sorry, dude. Great interception. Tremendous. But I've got to go with Joe Burrow, and we've gone on too many tangents. Any final thoughts?
The Jets are going to win on Sunday, though. Mike White is the leader of this Jets team. No Corey Davis, no Tevin Coleman, no CJ Mosley, no just about any of their starters.
Go, Joe!
I think Joe Mixon's going to have a huge game.
I don't know. I think it's going to be another Burrow Chase weekend.
Wouldn't surprise me a bit.
No. Tommy,
Yeah.
what were you gonna say? Were you gonna say something?
Oh, well, it was stupid when he said CJ Mosley. I said, what about Mr. Mosby?
That's going to wrap up Go Chat. Too many tangents during Go to the Week. I think Go to the Week might have been our longest segment on the episode.
I mean, I think we had a great conversation. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Before we go, the Lions are beating the Eagles this week. You can book it. Anyways, that's gonna wrap up this. What number episode were we on?
107.
107.
Yeah.
Episode 107. As always, thank you. If you're still here, thank you for watching the whole video. Obviously, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, follow us on all of our socials, and we'll see you next time.